When you first add your business to myPresences, we automatically scan the internet to find as many presences as we possibly can that belong to your business. In many cases, we won't find everything that belongs to your business, however, and this is because those presences may not be prominent in search engines, or there may be something about those profiles that make us believe it doesn't belong to your business. When this happens, you'll need to go into some of these websites, determine whether you have a presence, and if you do, you need to add those presences into myPresences so that we can track them for you and monitor any updates that occur on those presences. Now there's four main ways that you can add a presence into myPresences. The easiest way to add a presence to myPresences is to use the agent. And if you have the agent installed, it will appear as the black pin icon in the corner. So whenever you're browsing the internet and you're on a page that belongs to your business, such as this Yelp profile for Cold Rock, then all you have to do is click on the yellow pin and choose the Submit This Page option and make sure it's being submitted to the right business. This will only be an issue if you're tracking more than one business within myPresences. So when you click Submit This Page, it will be submitted. You'll see Presence Submitted. And when you switch back to myPresences, in the timeline, you'll see a task saying that the new presence has been queued for processing, and then when it has processed, your new Yelp presence will appear. And if you go over to your presences page, you'll see there's a new Yelp presence listed in your presence list. The second way to add a presence to myPresences is to simply go to the profile that you want to add, copy the URL to the profile, go back to myPresences, go to the navigation bar and choose the Add Presence option, and simply paste the URL into the text box and hit Submit Presence. This will take you back to the timeline and show you that we've submitted the job to process the Yelp profile, and when it's finished processing, it'll appear in your timeline. Please note that it may take some time for this to process. Quite often it'll happen within a few seconds, but it can take up to 5 to 10 minutes depending on the load on the servers. The third way that you can add a presence to myPresences is to use the visibility section. This is a list of keywords that are relevant to your business on search engines, and any presences that we find in the result sets can be added directly to myPresences. So if we scroll down, you can see that there's a WOMO presence for Cold Rock Chermside that hasn't been added to myPresences yet. And beside that, there's an add button. So if we click on the add button, it will then be added to myPresences and queued for processing. And if we return to the timeline, you'll see that the job has now been added and we have a new presence for Cold Rock Chermside. And the WOMO presence is now listed. The fourth way to add a presence to myPresences is very similar to copying the URL and adding the presence using the Add Presence option. In this case, we copy the URL, and if you're using the action list to manage your presences, you can go to Actions, find the action where you need to create a new presence, and paste it into the edit control and hit Add Presence. When we return to the timeline, you'll see the new Yelp presence has been added. There is actually one other way to add a presence to myPresences, and that's using the bookmarklet. We do, however, recommend that you use the agent over the bookmarklet where you can, but if you have to use a browser that is not Chrome, then this is another way that you can add a presence, and I'll quickly show you how to install the bookmarklet. If you come down to the Add Presence screen, below the entry for the agent, there will be a button that you can drag up into your bookmarks on your browser, and whenever you click on that bookmarklet, it will add the current page to myPresences. And you can see I've got it installed here in the Chrome browser. So if I go over to this Yelp profile and I click on that bookmarklet, it will submit this page to myPresences in the same way that the other methods have done in the past.